All right, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on with us tonight for our weekly Zoom, our last team Zoom before the end of the month. I don't know about you guys, but I actually cannot believe that we are about to be done with October. Like, I think I blinked and October was done. But this is also a really exciting time. So we're excited to hop on here. My name is Lindsay Winkler. I'm a presidential diamond, for those of you who don't know me. And I've been a part of this business now for 10 and a half years. And my co-host is Mandy Williams. She's a double diamond. She's in the business just about, is it 5 years? 6 years? I always get mixed up, you and Courtney and Clinish. Sorry, I muted you again.
Could you not ask me questions and mute me? That'd be great. Almost 7 years.
Yeah, so we're excited. You know, me and Mandy have been around for a minute in this business, and we just thought like a really awesome thing would do to do tonight. We're gonna kind of talk about some things that is really important for ending the month strong, starting the month off strong, but also like things that we're going to do as we go into the end of the year, because we know that these next 2 months of the year are busy as heck. And not just in our personal lives, but also the business. Like, this is a really pivotal time for our businesses, but it's a really crazy time in our personal lives. So we're going to talk about some things to help you guys get through that time and to maximize these next few months as we go into the beginning of the year. So something really quick like we wanted to talk about is just some things that we're doing daily that's important for your business. And I know you guys might be thinking, oh my gosh, can we like get off another topic other than like our daily task? But you guys, like, that's how important these things are. The things that you are doing for your business is so important that it needs to be talked about and just drilled into our heads and just reiterated like every chance we can get, because the things that we're doing daily really do compound, I don't know why I can't talk, to really bring big results. So some things that I'm talking about doing every day is making sure that we're posting every single day, you guys. And even as we go into these really busy months with holidays and school parties and vacations, from school because of the holidays, and just so many things going on, you guys, like, one thing that I make sure that I always do, no matter how busy I am, is I'm making sure that I'm posting something to let people know that I'm still here and that I'm keeping their attention. Even these last few days, it's been incredibly busy. I have my sister and my niece staying with us from Washington State, and it's been literally nonstop. But if you guys will go to my Facebook page, you're going to see that I have been posting stuff every single day. Just something so I'm staying in people's minds. Like, they're still going to be thinking about me. And yes, I want, so just make sure that you're still putting out there, because your Facebook's like your billboard. It's like your commercial. Those are the things that are pulling people in and keeping people engaged. So that's like one, I feel like, little thing that you can be doing every day that's really important and something big. The next thing that I'm doing, something really easy, is happy birthday messages, just to build that relationship, having that like little connection. And you guys might be thinking, oh, that's so silly. Like, why does happy birthday build my business? And it's because you're just being a friend. You're just showing people that you're not just an It Works robot and you're not just here to sell something. And as I talk about that, Mandy has something that she wants to share about when she's doing her happy birthday messages, something that she's been doing that she feels like has really been a game changer for her. So, Mandy.
Yes. So something that I've been doing, and I know this is working because I'll like explain how. But what I do is I go to their Facebook page, like I search my birthdays, I go through the birthdays, I go to each person's page, I scroll through their page. I get past all of the posts that people are like, hey, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. And I just like make sure that this page is still active, because Facebook wants us to be friends with active people. I make sure that their page isn't hacked and they're like posting some obnoxiousness that they're not real anymore. And I unfriend those people that are not active anymore. Then once I realize, okay, like they're still like active, they're still posting, I go and like and comment on something of that page. Like, and I'll be careful, because if they like commented something, let's say I went through and it was something posted in August, like I don't like and comment it, because I'm like, then I look like a stalker, like a weirdo that's looking old stuff. So I go like and comment on something of their page, and then I go message them personally and tell them happy birthday. And I normally just do something simple with like a cake and a little like the little party emoji, and I go on. So then that like shakes up our algorithm and like shows Facebook like, hey, I'm talking to this person. Most of the time, like they'll message me back, they'll say thank you. I'm like, oh, you're welcome. I hope you have an amazing day, or I hope you're having an amazing day, something along that line. Then I go back to that same person's page and I click on their friends, and I'll go through like 2 or 3 of their mutual friends that I have, and I do the same process. So I'll go on that person's page. I like make sure like their account's still active, like they're still real, they're still posting, like they're a real person still. And if they're not, I get them off my Facebook, I unfriend them. If they are, I do the same thing again. I like and comment and like make sure that I'm doing some type of interaction on their page, even if it's just like asking them like, oh, where'd you get the shirt? Or, oh my gosh, like I love this idea. Even if it's a simple recipe, like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. That looks amazing. Carry on. I go and message them and ask them to do a host a post for me. So then I go through and like just gives like a chunk. And then I like keep my little tally to the side, like how many people I asked for the day. And I'll use all my birthdays as a good like jump start. So I'm already doing my interactions. I'm already sending messages. Sometimes I'll end up finding someone that I just talked to because they were a mutual friend of somebody else. And then I'm like going into like following up. But that by doing it this way, for some reason, it's like switching stuff. And like when I'm doing my post about like a giveaway post, I'm having people that I haven't talked to in over a year comment on my stuff. And I don't know what it's doing with Facebook, but it's shaking all this stuff up and people are coming out of nowhere and they're like, oh, hey, I'm going to comment on this. So that is like my like biggest thing that I can say right now that's helping is just shaking up my algorithm and doing like all these tasks just by doing my happy birthday messages.
Yeah, and I like love that. I don't know, I just love that thought of like bundling like tasks up, especially as we're like super busy. Cause I feel like it's so easy to like look at your task list and be like, oh, I got extra little that, and that. But if we kind of like rope them up into one thing and do these different things without even really thinking about it, I feel like it just kind of helps it flow and that much quicker, and you get so much more done in that time. You guys, something else that's like really important is interact, like, you know, Mandy kind of talked about that a little bit, but liking and commenting on your friends post. And I feel like it's even easier during these times of the holidays because people are going to be posting pictures of their family, you know, going to Thanksgiving dinner in the living room, you know, or at Christmas, you know, because like all we do is like stay at my house and I'm like, what am I going to wear when I'm like going into my living room? Like, what do I care? But that's what we do. And we take pictures, and it's so simple to just comment and say, oh my gosh, your family is so cute, or happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. Those are easy comments. And so even people that you barely talk to, or you're like, oh, they're probably gonna be like, who's this freako like commenting on my post, like a random post? Well, it's the holidays. People don't think like that. But the more you're commenting on people's stuff, the more people are going to be interacting with you. And the more it's going to kind of shake up the algorithm. So make sure that you don't kind of like push off the interacting. And again, it's something I feel like is just so easy.
Ooh, one more thing really quick. I'm sorry. If you go to your Facebook and you click the 3 lines at the top and you go to feed at the top, it'll say like this, and you want to click friends. Like whenever I'm going to do my intentional interacting, I'll go to this and it shows like all of my friends that just posted just now. So it's like all the people in that chunk. And that's how I've been like, I'll like set a timer for like 15 minutes and I'm just like scrolling. And there's so many people on here that I didn't even know I was friends with because, you know, it feels like sometimes Facebook only shows you the top 20 people. But that's how I've been doing another section of my interacting.
Yeah, I
And
like that.
those are the people that are coming back and commenting on my giveaway post.
I like that. And if you have an iPhone, that feeds is at the very bottom, just like if you're on your news
Oh,
feed, it's at the
sorry.
bottom. It's okay. Mandy has an Android. And then once you click feeds, you'll see the different options up across the top, and you can click friends that way. But yeah, that's something Mandy was sharing, and I like that. So something else is super important, you guys. Make sure that you're going back and like bumping your old post. Like I did not do this before. Like what was it, like maybe like 3 weeks ago, month
Yeah.
ago, I started doing this. And something I do, so you guys know I've been doing it for 10 and a half years. So if I go to my memories, like I have 10 and a half years worth of old posts I've done about the business. So for some of you that are newer, I understand you're not going to have that. But if you've been in for over a year, you can go do that. And I'm literally just commenting, like if it's a business post, I'm gonna be like best decision. If it's a product post, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, love this coffee, whatever it is. But you guys, like it's ridiculous how bumping and you so even if you're newer in the business, you can do this to post that you on your own page. Just scroll back through your profile and comment on old posts that you did. I especially like doing it on ones that I already had a ton of comments on. But go to your host to post and do it too, because it's gonna like throw it back into like the news feed. And it's gonna be crazy that because you're gonna be getting comments on posts that you did like 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. And it's just gonna be like I did one the other day and I like had like 4 new comments and the post was from like 3 years ago. And just having conversations again, you guys, like it's crazy. But something that I've been doing is even putting in the comments, and I can even put it on here when Mandy talks next, because or I'll try to do it now, but I'm not really good at talking and typing or putting stuff in at the same time. And of course my messenger is telling me that it like needs to update, which is like annoying because it's like does that at the wrong times. But I'll put it in the chat, like what I'm sending, like putting in the comments. And it's just literally something like free bag of tropical fruit smoothie with new customer and signups today or something. And I'm going through my host to post and my post, putting that in there and then like some little emoji just to like bump the post. But then the people that already commented, they're going to see that as well, that there's going to be that free product. So make sure that you are going through and like bumping posts that you've done previously, because it really does make a difference. And I thought it would be like so silly. And I feel like, again, it's a task that as we go into these busier months, it's something that really is going to make a big impact on your business. One other thing I want to talk about is making sure, and I know we talk about all the time, you guys, is like, but your host to post. Be so consistent with your host post. And Mandy doesn't know I'm going to tell her to do this, but in a second, she's going to talk about this not this weekend we're in right now, but last weekend she had like an insane weekend and signed like 500 BV and customers. And it was like dumb. And Mandy was literally complaining because she hadn't signed anybody all month. But make sure you're being consistent with your host to post, you guys. And I know what it feels like when you feel like you are being consistent with it and nobody cares. And you're like, why is nobody replying? Why am I asking people and nobody cares? Like, I get it, because we all go through those periods. And I would be lying if I told you that even if you're going through it now and you're going to get out of it, you're going to have another time like that. But it's normal. Like we all go through that. And I just feel like it's such a test for us of like things like that. Those hard times really separate those who are successful in this business and those who are not, because the ones who are not are going to throw in the towel when things get tough. And they're like, I don't want to work for this. Like, I just want it to come easy. I don't want to do the things. I don't want to put in the time. I don't want to put in the effort. But you guys, like when you just keep being consistent, you are going to be so rewarded for that consistency. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, heck yeah, this is the best thing ever. Like, I'm so glad I listened. But something that I've been doing that I really feel like gets me in a good groove and changes things, because like whenever I'm like feel like I'm in a funk, my go-to is host to post. I know I'm going to have conversations when I do host to post consistently. And so that's like when I'm like ready to turn it up a notch, I'm doing host to post. Okay. So when I'm doing host to post, you guys, I'm having them do like a weight loss post on the thing, like for their post. So I'm having the person post, I'm having them post this weight loss thing. The person that posts for me, I'm making sure that I'm asking them to do the business. I'm sharing that with them after they post. Because I'm putting something out there about the products. I'm putting something out there about the business. Okay. When I'm talking to people, I'm giving them information. If somebody tells me that they can't order right now for whatever reason, something that I'm doing after they tell me that, I'm like, no worries, I'm happy to help when you're ready. Then I'm going back and I'm just asking them to do a host to post for me. Okay. So I have a new person that I just started talking to because they commented on a host to post about products. They can't order right now. So then I'm going to ask them to do a host to post, even if it's someone that I just became friends with like today. I'm going to flip around and ask them to do host to post because we've already been having conversation. We've already started building that relationship. But for me, that's something that I feel like has really helped me like catapult like my conversations, because typically I would have just been like, okay, thank you, and like walked on and moved on. But like I'm trying to like take advantage of every conversation that I'm having and getting the most out of every conversation I can. Because you know what? Maybe that person can't order and that like is kind of a bummer, but like they could do a host to post for you and you could get 25 comments on it and you could go and sign like 5 people from their post. Okay. And then you get to go back to them and be like, hey, you just did that post for me. Can I tell you more about what I do? Like you have all these people interested. So it's going to catapult these conversations. And so I just really wanted to share that with you guys because I feel like there's the host to post, it's so easy to kind of get like bummed out about, but we want to do what we can to maximize our conversations and to maximize, the reach that host to post really has, because people like want our products. People want to be a part of this. So Mandy, I want you to talk really quick about just something that you were doing. Cause like I said, you were like really feeling like one of those people that was in that rut, and then you literally were like on top of the mountain and I couldn't even like get you to like shut your mouth.
Oh, great. So what I was doing is I was in that 5-day push that like our team like did or whatever. And I was really, really pushing. Like I really didn't care about winning. I just wanted to like have my own wins and like putting that out there that I was doing my 25 messages in the morning. I was doing my 25 messages in the afternoon. So that way I was at least like getting my 50 up. And I would get aggravated, like I'm human, and I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm not signing anybody. Like I put a post up, nobody commented on it. Like, is their page dead? Like, are they even living? I don't know what's happening.
She'll
And then
like
I'd get
literally
like
do that
one
2 minutes
post,
after.
huh?
I said you'll
Yes, I
literally
would
do
do that
that
too.
2 minutes after
I
you post it.
I expect things to happen now. When I do it, I want it to happen now. But I would have other people, and they would have like 25 people that comment. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna catch up with this one person. And I know that like I so want to tell my fishing story so bad. Okay, but I'm not gonna do it. And I would have like people just all of a sudden like come out of nowhere and they're like, okay, I'm ready to order. And just like from doing it, because I'm like, okay, I know that if I keep doing it over and over and over again, like all of a sudden there's just gonna be this amount, like a massive amount of people. And right now, like I know that even though I've already signed up, I think it was like, I don't know, I've signed up 8 customers and 691 VV, which is a lot for me right now. And I know that so many other people that I've talked to, and I'm like, okay, just give it a little bit longer. And they're just going to keep like pouring in, and just going back and like following up with them and like asking if they have any questions. Like if something was too expensive, like telling them like we can do something cheaper, or like really figuring out where their goal was. And like this month, I feel like I was like settling too low on whenever I was talking to customer or potentials about like, okay, what are you going to order? Are you going to order gummies? Oh, I'm going to try to get you to have 2 gummies. And then now I'm like, no, like here's the slimming system, like pack, like here's 94 BV, let's go. And doing them big orders, like I cannot believe how many people are like, yes, like let's do this. Like I'm ready to lose weight, and just giving them that pack. And I don't know, they were just like flooding in like crazy. And I'm like, this is insane. But I know it's because I've been consistent for this entire month and like all of last month by just getting host to post up and out. And then having them just like adding to my page. Another thing, really quick, and I know we've talked about like giveaway host to post, like having them, and we call them host to post on steroids. Like having people post those, I do not give a flying crap if those people respond to me. I don't care if they were like, oh yeah, I do want to get entered. My biggest goal is just to get them to be my friend. Because then once they're my friend, then they're going to see the other stuff I post and they're going to comment on something, like something. They're not going to just hang out. That's my honest like biggest thing. And then I have those people that do comment from the giveaway post, like I give them a product post. And then I did just see Chad, you said about the happy birthday messages, like if that person only posts like shared memes or like posts about games and stuff, do I delete them or keep them? I keep them, and I will comment. Like if it's a game post, I don't comment on it. But if it's like a funny meme, or like even if it's kind of like a stupid one, I normally just like it and give it some type of acknowledgement, because sometimes like The people that I don't expect to order anything will be the biggest order that I've ever had. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I didn't even know you knew how to operate anything on Facebook besides playing your Farmville. But hey, you just bought $200 worth of stuff. If I ever get to the point where I max out on my friends list, like I probably will delete people that don't really post a whole lot or just like post games. Can you think of anything else that you want me to say?
No, thank you for sharing that. And you guys, like, I just hope like from that little even spiel, like you're just hearing Mandy's like excitement about these tasks, like this one thing that we like are, this host post we're focusing on, because it really does make a difference when we are being consistent and we are like, plugging along and doing it. Cause like I can almost bet that most of you on here have done host to host and seen success at some point. And maybe you're kind of sitting there and thinking, what the heck? Like, why was this working? And now it's not working anymore. Something that I can tell you guys that I've learned over the 10.5 years I've been doing this is if something is working or it has worked at some point for you, chances are it's going to work for you again. And I've like gone through that so many times myself to be like, I'm going to go change it up because I feel like this isn't working anymore. And when I try to do something different, I'm just not feeling it. I'm like not in a groove. And I go back to what I did before and boom, it does what it's supposed to do again. Like I do see results with it again. It does work. Like, that saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's the saying. And I feel like if you had success with something before, you're going to again. You've just got to keep plugging along and you've got to keep staying consistent. Yes, Molly just put in the chat, find a system and keep it. And all of your systems are going to look different. Like we're sharing these things with you guys, but you might have something that you feel like for you just totally like clicks. And you might be like, you can always try new things, add new things in, but like do the things that feel right to you and that's working right for you. It's so easy to look around and be like, oh, well, that person's like doing that. So I'm going to go over here and do that too. And then you're just not feeling it. And you're like, man, like I really just felt different when I was doing what I was doing before. Go back to doing that. Like that's the beauty of this business. Like we get to do our own things, but it is important to always be like wanting to evolve, always be wanting to learn and grow. Like, and host to post, my thing, like I'm like, well, I've done gummies host to post for like literally like 3 years and I sign people with it. I don't want to change. Well, Ashlyn Brown was just sharing like a few weeks ago about these and customers she was signing for like 300 something BV because of this like host to post she was doing about weight loss. And I'm like, okay, I want to know what you're doing. Like, I want to know that host to post because I want to try that too. And, and I want to, and like Mandy kind of talked about that, like playing it short, because I would do the same thing. I would do a gummies post. And then when they want to know how much it was, I would say 1 bottle for this much, 2 bottles for this much. And if I signed up someone for 2 bottles of gummies, I was like doing a flipping cartwheel because I'm like, oh yeah, 50 BV, 50 BV. And then Ashlyn shared her boards and there was like packs of like, and they were over $100. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you want me to like send this to people? Like they're going to want to buy these. Holy, like not that long ago, I just signed up like 400 BV in one day with those conversations because people do like, you know what I mean? Like there are people that want to get those bigger packs. And that's something I want you guys to think about. Don't prejudge. Like it's not our job to spend people's money for them. It is our job to share the information with people, give people the options and help them find the option that's best for them. And that is something that I like kick myself for in the past is because I would try to think, oh, that seems like a lot to me. I don't want to scare these people off. So I'm just going to start small and go from there. Okay. And that's like my biggest thing I like kick myself for. So don't do that. Don't do what I did. Share the information and let them decide. And something that I can say, and it's like, I'm like, and yeah, you guys, I'll share that board with you guys because literally it's like amazing. Like it's literally like they say this, you say this, they say this, you say that. Do they say this or this? And you get to like, it's amazing. Love it. But you guys like, and it's getting people in packs that are for them and they're gonna help them see results, but also like it's just like, I don't know, like not playing too small because like we're all have big goals and we're like ready to run. And, we're coming into a busy time, like I said, in our personal lives, but also in the business. Like, I know I had a Zoom with Meredith like a few weeks ago. Um, and things are not slowing down, you guys. Like, corporate has so many things planned, and now more than ever, we need to be consistent. We need to be excited. We need to be planting seeds and having the conversations. More than ever, we need to be doing that when we feel like no one gives a freaking rat's rump that we're talking about this, because I promise you, the people are watching, and the right people are watching. And we've got to keep doing the things and being consistent and being excited, because we're going to have an incredible year, but the new year is about to start. And if you guys haven't been in the business that long, this time of year coming up, the new year is like boom time. If you feel like you've been a rocking and rolling and booming now, like, you don't even freaking have a clue about what's about to happen. And so now more than ever, you need to be running. And maybe you're feeling like, my checks aren't where they want to be. My team isn't where I wish it was at right now. My team wasn't where it was, 3 months ago or whatever. None of that flipping matters, because I can tell you right now, I've been in that position so many times this time of the year, and looking at my paychecks at this time of the year, and then but still doing the things and knowing that it's going to be better, and literally my paychecks like quadrupling, or I don't even know what's like beyond, like, 4 times, but like just incredible things happening from this time of the year to like 6 months from now. And it's because, like, I did the things and I didn't stop. I didn't slow down. I didn't sit back and say, oh, well, I'm going to wait till after the holidays. Oh, you know what? People are going to spend so much money on Christmas. They're not going to want to use our products. People aren't going to care. People are going to be eating junk food there. And, the holiday meals, people aren't going to be worrying about wanting to lose weight. No, like, that's why more than ever, we need to be talking about our products and being very loud about it, because people do still want to be a part of it. And guess what? There's people who aren't ready to yet, but they're going to want to do it after the holidays, when tax season comes and all that, because we talked about it now in all these months. And something I was telling Mandy the other day, I was like, a product that I don't talk about as much anymore is the flippin' fat fighters, because I used to talk about those dang things all the time. I take them like all the time. Like, literally, like, I love them. And that's something like during the holidays that is so awesome to be sharing, because who doesn't want to eat their freaking Thanksgiving turkey and the stuffing and all the good stuff, and then know that they can take our fat fighters up to an hour after they eat and block some of the fats and carbs from absorbing in that meal? Like, hello, like, your Christmas cookie, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. It's like a no-brainer that we're like, should be talking about that, because everybody is going to want to have that like in their purse on the freaking family dinner table on Thanksgiving, because that's how important they are. So we just need to be so excited, you guys, and so loud about what we have our hands on. And if you have personal results, personal testimonies with these products, you need to be talking about them like daily, because people are paying attention to those things. And those are the stories that are going to connect with people and that are going to help people pulling in. So we just gotta be, I feel like I'm all over the place, but like, you guys don't even know like how excited I am for what's happening, and just being consistent and how important that really is. And, just understand that we know that like how it feels sometimes to feel like you're spinning your wheels, and to feel like you're doing the things and you're like literally in quicksand, and you might actually be moving backwards faster than you are forward. But there's gonna be a time that it's gonna catch, and it's gonna be like nuts. Like, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, they weren't crazy when they were telling me to keep doing the things even though it didn't feel like it mattered. Because you guys, like, promise you. And just think about like farmers and all the work they put in. And I know it's like a common analogy, but just think about all the time they put in on their crops and their fields until they actually get the harvest in. You know what I mean? And so we have to think about our businesses the same way, and just know that sometimes we're going to have a really long planting season, but the harvest season is going to come. And there's going to be people that come into our business and go out of our business and come back in. And something I always say is, sometimes you got to prune the dead to have room for the new. And so and that I'm talking about like teammates, and I'm talking about customers, And I'm talking about all the things, you guys, we can't like let stuff bog us down. Okay. You've got to stay laser focused. And one other thing I'm going to say, because I feel like I'm really rambling, but these are all things that are just coming to my mind as maybe this is like probably because I need to say it to myself, but also like just if you feel like there's like outside noise or like people that are like saying like, like you're still doing that, or like that's not gonna work, or that's like a scam, or people that just aren't really supporting you, like now more than ever is a time you want to make sure that you're leaning into the team. Like just do, like if you feel like you are like trying to combat all these things on the outside, just really shout out the wins you're having with your team. Shout out the wins like on the team page. Just be really connected to the people that you want to be, like you want to trade places with. That's something that I always think about. Like who would I trade places with? And I want to do what they're doing. And just focus on that, because I promise you, like things are going to be so crazy and you're going to be so glad you did. One last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll let Mandy like finish up because I feel like I'm rambling. Make sure that you're paying attention to the team page. Make sure that you're paying attention to Road to VIP. Make sure whatever chat you're paying attention, because there's going to be announcements. There's going to be tips shared. Get on the Zooms, get on the calls, get on everything that you can and really like listen. Don't just, because I always used to think I don't need to be on a Zoom. Like I don't need to hear the rah rah shish boom bah, like I'm doing great. Or, when I was in a bad mood, I didn't want to hear people that were happy and excited, because I was having my pity party and I thought that was annoying. Like, no, like I don't care that Mandy, you've signed all these customers, because I am too busy and I haven't even gotten a freaking host to post up. You know what I mean? But then when I would get on and I would listen to those things, or I would have that conversation with Mandy, I would be like, it would fire me up. It would get me excited. Even though I didn't want to hear it, it's like almost impossible to not get excited when you hear somebody else's excitement. And hopefully you guys are feeling that way on the Zoom right now. And you thought, oh, I didn't want to be on here. But, these crazy broads might be onto something. And you're going to be, and you're glad that you're on here with us. So just think about that too. Get on the things even when you don't feel like it. Even that's like definitely when you need to be on, because I guarantee there's going to be something that you're going to hear and you're going to be like, gosh, dang it. They're right. They're talking to me. And then go do the thing. Just go do it. That's how easy it is. You just get to go do it. So Mandy, I don't know why you haven't muted me yet. Say something, please, so I'll stop talking.
Because you're the host and I can't mute you. Okay, so I do have like a couple things I want to say. I've seen that people have asked questions. I promise I'm going to ask or answer those questions because I have some really good answers. Because Angela, like I was there just like a couple days ago and I'm constantly going back and forth battling it. But really quick, I'm not Ashley Mayfield. I'm not going to be able to say it the way that she did. But if you're in the Eastern, like Central or no, Eastern, I don't know, whatever, something page, Eastern page. She's like did this amazing live and talking about how whenever she like promoted, she put this Post-it note all over her house. One key place was above the toilet paper roll. And she's like, if you don't put it above the toilet paper roll, don't even do it. Just forget it. She's like, on the kitchen counter? No, above the toilet paper roll. I have it wrote in my shower, on my mirror, above my toilet paper roll. I have it on my light switches. I have it on my TV so that every time I sit down and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be lazy and not do anything, I see this like big giant reminder. Well, it's not giant, but it's like right there in my face and I have to see it. It's on my light switch that I have to turn on every single time I sit down on the couch. So when I'm being lazy and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do anything, I have it wrote on there and I put like my date. I put it like October of 2023 and I put I'm making $6,000 a month in 90 days. Like that's my goal. That's what I'm putting out there. Every single time I sit down and I see that, it's like that. Like I need to get my task done. I need to get my list done. I need to get something done before I give myself reward of like scrolling on TikTok or looking at a movie or like doing anything. And it feels so nice to like see that, have my motivation, like, hey, I need to get this done right now. And then I can sit down and like do something with my kids or like do homework or whatever I need to be doing. Then something else I wanted to say was whenever I was new, I remember like, I don't know why this keeps coming to me. So maybe someone is like wanting to hear this. I remember like getting on Zooms and like thinking that these were the stupidest things I've ever been on. And like, why am I doing this? Because they were like talking about like task and they'd be like power hours. And I'm like, I don't even know what this means. Like, who am I messaging? Who am I following up with? Like, I don't even know how to do this, but I would just sit there and like do things. And then as I would do things, like it just got easier and easier and easier, and I would be able to do them all. And then something else, like when they'd be like a Zoom like this, or like a Stephanie and Joel done, or just like being able to listen to like sharing tips and like how these people promoted, I wouldn't be able to just sit. My kids were littler. I couldn't just sit on the couch and like turn something on and be able to focus, because they'd be in my ear, like whining about something, ask me for something. They'd walk past dad whenever he's sitting right there and ask me to do it. So I would go take a shower, turn it all the way up as loud as I could, and I would listen to it in the shower. And that's whenever I, like, for me, had my time that no one was bothering me most of the time. And I could like focus on what they were saying and listening to the tips. And I'd be like, dang, like this girl's like, not to be rude, she's a nobody. Like she's not any more important than me. So why can't I do it? They didn't have like some social media degree and was like a expert in Facebook or TikTok. Like they were just a random person that started this company, followed somebody else copycat and did it. And like that's what this is like, you just have to copy the right cat, be excited, and like showing your excitement, telling people how you're excited. Like I have someone that's brand new that just joined, and she's like posting on Facebook. She's like, I'm going to be making $500 a month. Like I'm so excited that she is so excited, because like it rolls, and then people see that and they want to be a part of it. They want to know what's going on. And then going back to, let's see, let me scroll. My like thing is dumb. Jordan asked, what do you do when you've asked everyone on your friends list and you to put up a post and no one answers? Or if people do and you message everyone that comments and still no one answers, what do you do next? I'm still adding 25 friends to each shift. Okay, so I do what I did in the beginning. Like I told you about the birthday things where I'm asking, and okay, so this is like really weird because I just had this happen. There was a ton of people that commented like on my post, and I went through and I messaged every single one of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you commented on this like Disney post, like here's how to get entered, like are you good, are you ready to go? And sometimes like they wouldn't say anything. I kid you not, I would message those people the next day or like the next couple days and just be like, hey, like did you want to get entered? Almost, I'm going to say probably 50% of them came back and was like, oh yeah, I do, I want to get entered, like let me know. Like I cannot tell you how many times I've opened up a message and like my kid does something or something happens or I get a phone call and then like I fall off the face of the earth on that person and I forgot, or in my head I'm like, oh yeah, I responded. So like these people, like they have the same things, like they forget about it, they're doing something, like they're crazy busy like everybody else. But and then I've had a lot of people too that I go back and I like re-ask them. Like I'll send them the same message and change like 5 words and most of them say yes. I mean, there's going to be people that don't. There's people that I've sent like 25 messages to. And I'm like, well, eventually you're either going to get A, sick of me and delete me, or B, you're going to host the post so that I'll leave you alone. So like, that's the way I do it. As far as like adding people, like, I don't know how many people you're like are getting or accepting your friend request, but maybe try, when I do that, I get blocked for messaging. Okay, hold on. I got something with that too. But so adding people that you have a lot of mutual friends with is something that'll help too, because for whatever reason, Facebook is being really strict about it. And then where did else? I seen Angela ask something. Advice on getting hosted posts up. I can't send out 25 at a time. I get shut down. Oh my gosh, it keeps like bumping away.
Can I just, so you don't have to search for it?
All right,
When I send them out, I honest to God, after about 10, I start getting the couldn't send message. So it's like I can't do 25 at a time.
Okay, so this is what was happening to me, and like it was driving me insane. Like Lindsay was probably like ready to hit me. I don't know how many times I was like, I'm gonna kill Facebook. Like Facebook's out to get me. They hate me. So what I was doing, I started going through like my giveaway post, and I was asking people to message me. And I hate that because it puts the ball so much in their court and not in my court. And I like to be the one in control. But as I was going through, like even though I would only get, I don't know. Hey, I'll be in there in a second. Even though I would only get like maybe, I don't know, let's just say I get like 10% of those people that like messaged me, those people would shake Facebook up enough to allow me to like send out more messages, and like switching out my wording and like doing different things, but I would like go through, and I had a system. I would go through, I would like the comment, reply to it like, hey, send me a message, and I'd put like in bold giveaway or like in caps like Disney or something, and just like send me this message. And then I would wait for like the next couple days, and then once my Facebook allowed me to go back and send messages, I would go through each one of those comments again and make sure that they commented. If they did, or if they did a giveaway post or they posted for me in some way, I would change my like to a heart. So I told myself, okay, like this person already posted for me, I'm going to heart it. Then if I would message the person, I'd unlike it and message them and ask them to host a post for me. Does that make sense? I know I said it like really fast, and I don't even know if I made sense, but I would have them message me. And like, even on my regular, like any like regular post, I would have them message me, and I would try to get ways to message, like have these people message me first. And just having, for whatever reason, Facebook, once I allowed people to like message me first and like we'd get conversations going, then I was able to send out more. But every once in a while it still does flag me, and I like have to like push the system out again, and then it works. Was there any other questions did you see, Lindsay?
No. Not that I saw.
Um,
That was really helpful. I'm gonna stop the recording really quick.
okay.